April is the single most important month in your entire gardening calendar. Miss it, and you spend the rest of the season playing catch-up. Nail it, and your garden practically feeds itself for the next 6 months. Today, I am walking you through 16 crops you absolutely need to start this month, and I am not just going to rattle off a list. I am going to tell you the exact soil temperature each crop needs, the spacing that actually works, and the mistakes that kill even experienced gardeners every single spring. But here's what I really want you to pay attention to. Stick with me until crop number 7, because the planting trick I'm going to share with you there could literally multiply your harvest by up to 400% without buying a single extra seed. And then wait until we get to the very last crop on this list, because that one is the reason I started this channel, and most gardeners never even consider it. Let's get into it. Crop 01, tomatoes, the one everyone gets wrong. Let's start with the most beloved crop in any home garden, and also the one most beginners get wrong every single April, tomatoes. Now, before you say, I already know about tomatoes, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you is not what most garden channels cover. Tomatoes do not care what the calendar says. They care about temperature. Specifically, they want your soil to be at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit before you even think about putting them in the ground. If your soil is still sitting at 50 or 55 degrees, your tomatoes will sulk, stall, and be overtaken by plants started just 2 weeks later in the right conditions. If you're in zones 4 through 6, this is your window to start seeds indoors. 6 weeks before your last frost date. Get them under a grow light, keep the room warm, and give them 14 to 16 hours of light per day. Weak, leggy seedlings in June are almost always the result of poor light in April. If you're in zones 7 through 10, April is transplant month. Your seedlings from February or March should be hardening off right now, meaning you bring them outside for a few hours each day, increasing sun exposure gradually over about a week before they go into their permanent home. Here's the detail nobody talks about. When you transplant your tomatoes, bury them deep. Strip the lower leaves and bury the stem up to 2/3 of the plant's height. Every hair on that buried stem becomes a root. More roots equal more water and nutrient uptake, which equals bigger yields. That single trick is worth more than any fertilizer you could buy. Variety note: grow from seed and save real money. 60 transplants from a garden center costs over $120. A single packet of heirloom seeds? 25 cents. Same plants, dramatically more variety. Crop 2, lettuce, the crop that keeps giving. If tomatoes are the rock star of summer gardens, lettuce is the workhorse of spring, and it's dramatically underused because most gardeners treat it like a one-time planting. Here's the move the best home gardeners figured out years ago: succession planting. Instead of sowing all your lettuce seeds at once in early April, sow a small batch every 2 weeks. Keep going until temperatures push past 75 degrees consistently. Studies show succession-planted lettuce can yield up to 400% more usable greens over a season than a single-batch planting. Same seeds, same bed, just staggered timing. April is ideal because lettuce thrives when daytime temps sit between 45 and 65 degrees. Once the heat comes, lettuce bolts, shoots up, flowers, and turns bitter almost overnight. Your goal is to harvest as much as possible before that happens. Plant seeds just 1/8 of an inch deep and keep soil consistently moist, and expect germination in 7 to 14 days. Thin to about 8 inches apart for head varieties, or grow more densely for cut and come again harvesting. Crop 3, spinach, nature's multivitamin. Right alongside your lettuce, get spinach in the ground this month. Cool weather vegetables like spinach can accumulate up to 20% more vitamins after mild frost exposure. Cold temperatures trigger the plant to produce more sugars and nutrients as a survival mechanism. The spinach you harvest after a light April frost is nutritionally superior to what you get in warmer conditions. Direct sow seeds 1/2 inch deep and 2 inches apart, then thin to 6 inches as they grow. Germination takes 7 to 14 days. Start harvesting outer leaves once the plant has 5 or 6 mature leaves. The one enemy of spinach is heat. Once your days are consistently above 75 degrees, it will bolt. Get it in the ground now and harvest aggressively. Pick, pick, pick. The plant will keep producing until it decides it's done. Crop 4. Peas. Plant them before it's too late. If it's already mid-April or later, peas should have gone in the ground yesterday. Peas love cool weather, can handle a light frost, and absolutely cannot handle summer heat. Plant them too late and you get a handful of pods right as the heat shuts them down. The sweet spot is soil temperatures between 45 and 70 degrees. Sow seeds directly 1 inch deep and 2 inches apart along a trellis or fence they can climb. Within 60 to 70 days, you'll be pulling fresh peas with a sweetness that fades within hours of harvest. One of those things you have to experience to understand why people bother growing their own food. Crop 05. Radishes, the garden's secret weapon. Radishes are one of the most underestimated crops in any garden. Most people grow them as an afterthought, a filler crop. But the experienced gardener uses radishes as a strategic tool. Radishes can be ready to harvest in as little as 30 to 45 days, making them the fastest return on investment in your spring garden. And they are an incredible companion plant. When planted alongside slower-growing crops like carrots and beets, they loosen the soil as their roots develop, making it easier for those crops to push through. Pull the radishes before they bolt, and your carrots slide right into the space those roots created. Sow seeds 1/2 inch deep and 2 inches apart. Harvest as soon as they reach the size on your seed packet. Leave them too long and they go woody. Succession sow every 2 weeks for a continuous supply. Crop 06. Carrots. Patience rewarded. Carrots are a lesson in patience and precision. The single most important factor is your soil. Carrots need loose, deep, stone-free ground. Compacted or rocky soil causes roots to fork around obstacles. Raised beds or deeply tilled ground with added compost are your best options. Sow seeds 1/4 inch deep and thin to 3 to 4 inches apart once they sprout. Germination takes 10 to 21 days. Keep the soil consistently moist during that window because if the surface dries out, seeds will not germinate. Once up, they are tough. April planting puts your harvest at late June or early July. And just like spinach, a light frost converts starches to sugars and improves flavor. Plant them, mulch them, and let time do the work. Crop 08. Broccoli. Start indoors, win outdoors. Broccoli is a cool weather crop that most gardeners in moderate climates should have started indoors in late February or March. If you did that, April is your transplant month. If you missed it, do not panic. Start seeds indoors now and get a fall harvest by planting out in summer when temperatures begin dropping. Broccoli wants soil temperatures between 45 and 85 degrees and full sun. Space transplants 18 inches apart. The most common mistake is letting the head flower before harvesting. Once those tiny green buds start separating and turning yellow, flavor drops fast. Harvest when the head is tight, dark green, and solid. Bonus tip: after you cut the main head, leave the plant in the ground. It will produce smaller side shoots for weeks afterwards. Multiple harvests from one plant. Cut and come again. Crop 09. Cabbage, the storage king. If you're thinking about food security or self-sufficiency, cabbage belongs on your list this April. Here's why. Cabbage stores. Not for a week, we're talking 3 to 5 months in a cool, dark root cellar or refrigerator. Vegetables you grow this spring are still feeding your family in November. Transplant 4 to 6 week-old seedlings now, spaced 18 inches apart. Fertilize at transplant and again when heads start forming. The challenge is the pest pressure. Cabbage worms, loopers, and aphids are drawn to it. Check leaf undersides regularly and remove eggs by hand.
Or use a lightweight row cover immediately after transplanting. That one step alone can save your entire crop. Crop 010, onions, the foundation crop. Every serious home garden needs onions, and April is either your last chance or your prime planting window, depending on your zone. The most important thing to understand is the difference between short-day and long-day varieties. Long-day onions form bulbs when daylight reaches 14 to 16 hours, suited for northern gardens above the 37th parallel. Short-day onions trigger at 10 to 12 hours and are better for southern gardeners. Plant the wrong type for your latitude, and your onions will stay small no matter how well you care for them. Onion sets are the easiest way to plant in April. Push them into soil about 1 inch deep and 4 to 6 inches apart, pointy end up. Onions hate competition from weeds, so keep the bed mulched. Harvest when about 3/4 of the tops have flopped down and started drying down, then cure in a warm, dry spot with good airflow for 2 to 4 weeks before storing.
Crop 11, cucumbers, warm soil only. Real quick, if you are finding this video useful, drop a comment below telling me which crop you are most excited to plant this April. I read every single one, and your comment genuinely helps this channel grow. Now back to the list. Cucumbers have zero frost tolerance. Your soil needs to be at least 60 degrees before seeds will germinate properly. In zone 7 and above, direct sow now. In colder zones, start seeds indoors 2 to 4 weeks before your last frost date. Cucumber roots are sensitive to disturbance. If starting indoors, use biodegradable pots you plant directly in the ground. Never disturb the roots at transplant time. Install your trellis at planting time. Vertical growing saves space, keeps fruit off the soil, and improves airflow, all of which increases yield. Pick frequently. Every cucumber left past its prime tells the plant to slow down. The more you pick, the more it grows. Crop 12, peppers, the long game worth playing. Fresh bell peppers at the grocery store are sitting at $2 to $3 each. A single healthy pepper plant gives you 6 to 10 peppers across a season. A packet of seeds costs about the same as buying 2 bell peppers at the store. The math is obvious. April is your window to start peppers indoors. They need 8 to 10 weeks of indoor growth before going outside. Peppers need warmth to germinate, soil temperatures between 75 and 85 degrees. A heat mat under your seed tray makes a dramatic difference in both speed and germination rate. Peppers are even more cold sensitive than tomatoes. Wait until nighttime temperatures are reliably above 55 degrees and harden them off slowly over 7 to 10 days before they go in the ground. Crop 13, summer squash and zucchini, the overachiever. There's a running joke that in July, you will find zucchini left anonymously on your neighbor's porch because nobody knows what to do with all of it. That joke exists because summer squash is ridiculously productive. Direct sow seeds 1 inch deep in groups of 2 to 3, then thin to the strongest plant. Space at least 3 feet apart. These are large, sprawling plants. Full sun and consistent moisture, especially once flowering and setting fruit. The key to maximizing production is hand pollination and consistent harvesting. Squash have separate male and female flowers. If your garden lacks pollinators, take a small paintbrush and transfer pollen from male to female flowers. You will get fruit every time. And pick frequently. A zucchini left too long turns into a baseball bat and tells the plant its job is done. Crop 15, beans. Direct sow, no fuss. Beans are fast, productive, and completely no fuss. Do not start them indoors. They hate root disturbance and grow fast enough that there is zero benefit to getting a head start inside. Wait until soil is consistently above 60 degrees and direct sow right where they'll grow. Sow bush bean seeds 1 inch deep and 3 inches apart. For pole beans, plant at the base of a trellis or teepee of bamboo sticks. Germination in 7 to 14 days, producing within 50 to 60 days. Pick often. Leaving mature pods on the plant signals it to stop flowering. One underrated benefit: beans are nitrogen-fixing plants. Their roots pull nitrogen from the air and deposit it in the soil. When your plants are done, cut them at soil level and leave the roots in place. The decomposing roots improve your soil's fertility for whatever comes next. Crop 16, dill, the herb that does everything. Dill is incredible in the kitchen, perfect with fish, potatoes, eggs, and anything pickled. But what it does for your garden is just as important.
Dill is one of the most powerful beneficial insect attractors you can plant. When it flowers, it draws parasitic wasps, lacewings, hoverflies, and ladybugs, natural predators of the aphids and caterpillars that attack your vegetables. Plant dill near your brassicas, beans, and lettuce beds, and you're building a living pest control system. Remember the radishes from crop 5? This is where it all pays off. Radishes loosen the soil for your root crops. Dill attracts the insects that protect your greens and brassicas. When you think of your garden as a system rather than individual plants in separate beds, everything works better and you do less work overall. Direct sow dill where you want it. It does not transplant well. Scatter seeds thinly, press into soil, and water gently. Germination takes 10 to 14 days. Once established, it requires almost no attention. Crop 16. Asparagus. Plant it once, harvest it for 20 years. And here we are, crop number 16. The one I told you at the very beginning was the reason I started this channel. I genuinely mean that. Most people skip asparagus because it takes patience. You plant crowns in April and don't harvest a full crop until year 3. The first 2 springs, you let the fronds grow tall and feed the roots so the plant can establish a deep, strong crown. It feels like waiting forever. And then year 3 arrives, and before almost anything else is even sprouting, there are thick, beautiful asparagus spears pushing up through the ground. And then the same thing happens the following year, and the year after that. A well-planted asparagus bed can be productive for 20 years. This is not a vegetable you plant. This is an investment you make in your garden, your family, and your future self. No other crop on this list will be feeding you in 2 decades from a single planting.
Plant 1-year-old crowns in trenches 12 inches deep and 18 inches wide. Spread roots over a mound of compost at the bottom, cover with 2 to 3 inches of soil, and gradually fill the trench as spears emerge over the first few weeks. Space crowns 18 inches apart. Full sun, well-draining soil, and patience. You could plant asparagus crowns this April, and when your kids are teenagers, they will still be walking into your backyard and picking fresh asparagus for dinner. That kind of long-term thinking, that generational garden perspective, is exactly what Serene Green Gardens is about. That is all 16 crops you need to start in April, plus the companion planting system, the succession planting strategy, the soil secrets, and the long-game thinking that separates a garden that feeds you for a week from one that feeds you for an entire season, and, in the case of asparagus, for the next 2 decades. If you found this useful, hit that like button and subscribe to Serene Green Gardens. Every video on this channel is built to give you real, practical, specific information. No fluff, no filler, just what works. Drop any questions in the comments. I read every single one and will answer yours. Next up, we are going deep on raised bed soil mixes, the exact recipe I use that outperforms every bagged mix at the garden center, and how you can build it yourself for a fraction of the cost. I will see you in the next one. Happy planting!